3-hour show, Jason.
Let's just get right into it.
Yeah. We're not reviewing a car action, so you should be safe.
Okay, good.
So yeah, what's going on with my screen here? How come that's paused? That must be on Live RC then. Oh yeah. Oh, okay, everybody's waiting. I saw that car hop in. 251 Radio Impound Podcast. If you're listening to the audio version, don't forget we also do a video version available on YouTube and well, I guess that's it. Just on YouTube and YouTube and Facebook. But who watches a video on Facebook? Like who would watch a 2-hour podcast on Facebook?
I probably
on Facebook? Maybe on YouTube. I'll put it up on your TV.
On the YouTubes?
Yeah. Yeah. So I have on the screen here, I have the 10 Scale Nationals going on in Georgia at the Yard. What's the name of it?
It's actually Hobbytown, Columbus, I believe.
Oh, I saw the Yard back there. That's why I was like, oh, the Yard. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that reference is, but I think it's called Hobbytown, Columbus. And
and oddly enough, you're not there.
I am not there. No.
Dang. But I know where you will be next week. The same place that I will be at, the Mugen Challenge at LCRC Raceway. I'll be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm calling it right now.
No. You're doing it wrong.
What?
I'll be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah. Let me talk to you.
That's right.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep. Perfect.
Jason's going to be like, oh, man, I'm not going.
Can I get out of this?
Can I get... Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is kind of the first race, large race on this level, of course, that they've had here at this location in Columbus, Georgia. And Sean Harding, who is a guy that all those banners in the background that say coming on the back straightaway are a lot of his races. He has a series that travels throughout really the Southeast called the Snap Hard Racing League.
Oh.
And it makes me laugh, the snap part of it. But yeah, he's a race promoter, but he works at this track at Hobbytown, and they, they asked to get in on this Roar National, and their bid was accepted. And now here they are hosting the Roar Nats. So I think that Sean put a lot of kind of blood, sweat, and tears.
Tears, right?
Into this,
right?
And, I mean, you can see this. I talked to Paul today on the phone, and he's there for us. He drove the van up with Tyler Hooks, and then Hannah Hardison met him in there. Met them there at Columbus. So we got our three-headed monster of J Concepts.
Three-headed monster. I like that.
So Paul's actually racing some Masters class. Tyler's racing 17.5 and 13.5.
Ah,
Hannah's doing her normal media. So she got a lot of photos up today. If you want to see what's going on at the Nats, check us out on Facebook. J Concepts Inc. on Facebook. But that'll be going on all weekend, and it's been tough so far there for everybody getting used to this track. With the video running here in the background, you can see it looks kind of normal But
Yeah.
but the reality is everyone's really had a lot of trouble finding the tire that they want to reuse here. For the most part, we haven't. We did have a warm up race that Dustin Evans went to, along with several other of our drivers that are locals. They come in, Chris Van Air, and a lot of other guys have been there trying to get dialed in. And, those guys is running really kind of taught us that we had to bring almost everything to this race and then some. So yeah, I don't. It's been tough for everybody to kind of get going and feel comfortable about their tire selection. And from what I understand, everybody is getting better. The track is getting better. The drivers are getting better, and I think everyone's starting to feel a little more confident in what they're doing, selections they're making. But yeah, it's definitely caused everybody a little bit of concern the first 2 days here.
Really?
They've been all over the map on tire compounds. Just not really settled in on anything till maybe midway through the day today. I kind of it was probably 3/4 of the way through today. I got a little bit of information. We got a no apology shirt on the driver's stand there.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I see that. Look at that.
And so, yeah, I got a message about 3/4 of the way through the day, I guess, and everyone was saying, guys are feeling a little more comfortable and kind of narrowing down the selection on tires a little more. So that made me feel better that the drivers are starting to run a little better and knowing what they want to do. Of course, you're only happy when you're winning, but
right.
But yeah.
So you brought everything to the, Paul and them brought everything, every compound imaginable.
Yeah, I mean, we
weren't
really
sure, right?
Yeah, we really weren't sure what was going to happen. All the input. I'll go ahead and share that we're live here.
Yeah. Joe Zaire checking in, top fan checking in. There you go. He's a top fan now. Become a top fan of Radio Impound Podcast. Interact with us on Facebook. It really helps us out. Jake Ingstrom is back from his trip in Alaska. I don't know if you've been following Jake Ingstrom. He's been all over Alaska doing a bunch of things. Now apparently he's checking in from Street Break Circuit in Largo, Florida. So he's back from Alaska. Now he's in Largo, Florida. Jake Ingstrom is saying this is a drift track. There you go. We always like drifting, right?
Drifting, that's interesting because the drifting RC work, the RC, how do I want to say this? Drifting in the RC world has been around for many years, but I feel like it's been picking up some momentum in the USA as of late. And, I haven't personally tried it. I've been at Northwest Hobbies. They have a pretty fun little scene. Last few times I've been to Northwest Hobbies, got to see a lot of drivers doing some drift, but I mean, there is some really phenomenal looking circuits out there for drifting, RC drifting.
Yeah, they have looks like cities and stuff around the track. Yeah.
And it's picking up some momentum, I think. It's just another avenue of RC that we have today that.
So how do you win at drifting? Because it looks like nobody passes anybody. It just kind of looks like they follow the leader and just go around the track.
I have no idea.
Jake's saying drift cars are like scalers for on-road. Okay. All right.
If I send you a photo of a drift car, I mean, you're really not going to believe how.
Well, I mean, I've seen them. I've been watching them on YouTube, and actually, Carrie likes to watch the drifting. But yeah, I don't know.
J.R. Mitch has been doing quite a bit of it.
Oh, that's right. He's been into that.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those guys that kind of has the knack for RC. So it doesn't matter what he picks up. If it's an RC car, he's going to be able to drive it. And he's posted some pretty good videos. What I've been told, though, about RC drifting is it's almost a disadvantage, I've been told, if you are a traditional RC driver, because there's so many gyro. It runs so much with a gyro.
Interesting.
That traditional RC drivers, traditional RC drivers kind of struggle a little bit with it because they're used to counter steering and being kind of in control of all these things. And with the gyros, I guess, that are in the drift cars, it takes some getting used to, if you can ever get used to it for a traditional driver. But it looks like J.R. Mitch has kind of got a handle on it. He's doing pretty good. I watch his videos, and
Joe Zara saying there's so much gyro, it's Italian. All right. So how is this a drift, Jake Ingstrom? How is this a drift car track?
My guess is he's at a real drift car event.
Oh, I misunderstood him then.
Yeah, that was what.
All right.
You know what? No, I think you're right. I think he is at the RC. This might actually be their night where they do the drifting. So maybe JR's
at the track that Jake races at?
The track where JR's been going to do the drifting.
Oh, got you. Okay.
So, yeah, Joe was mentioning here, he was asking if thought Tyler drifted. And he actually doesn't. He hasn't done that yet, but I wouldn't be surprised. There he is, term marshaling right now, actually.
Oh, well, how exciting is that?
I'm sure he would do pretty well.
Jake is saying Thursday and Saturday nights, JR comes here on Saturdays. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah, I've been kind of wanting to go over there and watch it at some point and kind of take it in, because I just like everything RC. And
yeah, it doesn't matter what it is, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of tried. I'm not going to say I tried it all, but I've tried a lot of different things. So at one of these times, I've never driven 8-scale nitro on road. One of these years, I'm going to have to do that, but definitely going to need a mechanic.
Yeah, you're going to need maybe even a driver. I was watching RC TV over the weekend, and there was an 8-scale race somewhere. Maybe I was watching something old, but
RC, okay.
RC TV.
Yeah.
And yeah, 8-scale gas nitro on road. Joe's there saying that 8-scale nitro on road is the bomb. Nothing like it. Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, most everyone says the same about it. Is it's kind of the big boys of RC in terms of, but it's a big commitment. I don't like the way the cars look, though.
It's
also I think the most expensive, from what I understand.
I would imagine.
And what I notice in that class is a lot of older drivers still have a lot of fun and success in 8-scale on road.
Larry Tom saying that the national track looks dope.
Oh yeah, the layout. They were being very secretive about this layout, and
I like that. No warm-up race with the exact layout. And,
no, what they did, is they actually the Sean and crew, they built this track layout, and they wouldn't let anybody in to look at it, to see it. They actually
Absolutely.
they put stuff over the windows so you couldn't see in the track at all.
Wow, that's crazy.
So Paul said they were really secretive, and then they debuted it the day everybody could get on it.
So how did you like determine? Hey, Paul, take these tires with you. Did you just take a bunch of stuff with you?
Well, no, I mean, we did have
Or-
the warm up race that Dustin and a few of our other drivers, and we had locals that told us what.
So you know what kind of dirt it is.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, there's, it's a track that runs continually all the time.
That'd be great if they switch up the dirt on you.
But we had a general idea, but we brought pretty much every compound that we make.
Yeah. All right.
And I think they've gone through them all. I think they have. I think they've tried them all.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can get done when you have to.
You know what you need to do, Larry Tom, is build the exact same track for the world.
Same layout.
Same layout, everything. That'd be awesome. And don't let anybody know until they check in. Dude, how epic would that be? Hey, wait, this is the same one as the world's. And then change it overnight. Just change it. Just go balls to the wall. Change it overnight, right before the seating.
Sorry, guys, we're gonna make a change here.
Let's see how good you guys really are. Larry Tom saying all. And can you do these podcasts later in the day so I can still work? Well, man, this is pretty late for us. This is, a matter of fact, this is like 8:30 for us. Jason's ready to go to bed.
Yeah.
We almost delayed the podcast until tomorrow, but I have some news for you. We're still gonna do a podcast tomorrow, and it's gonna be me and Kirby Han doing a RC car action. And we're gonna try and find the one that Joel Johnson won the worlds with the Evolution. And we're going to go through that one. Jason will be absent from that one, right, Jason?
I'm going to be here.
Oh, well, maybe he'll be here. There you go. So maybe 2 podcasts in 1 week. What are we doing?
Not only in 1 week, they're back to back.
God damn, back to back. Back to back podcasts. Man, we are killing it.
Yeah, we're pumping up those numbers. We'll be at 500 before you know it.
I'm trying to get Jason to do one every day of the week, but twice a week, that we'll take that. Larry Tom said that that's not going to happen. He's not going to do the exact same layout and the dirt. So Larry Tom, I need your opinion. Should I come out to that race or not? Joe Zer saying old RC car actions, remembering the days when we thought we were good. Yeah, I never thought I was good, Jason. To be honest with you, I knew I was good at my local track, but I knew outside of the track I was a mess. So,
well, what I will say is, I know I was good.
All right, well, whatever. Yeah, I'm watching all these old videos on YouTube. I'm getting pumped up for my Joel Johnson car. I'm hoping that I get this car first of all. I mean, you guys are telling me Tower Hobbies is trustworthy. It's part of Horizon. So I think I might get it.
Yeah, you'll do fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure Larry will, he'll probably be getting in a couple of those Joel Johnson cars too over at Hobby Action.
All right, maybe if I don't get one, Larry Tom can hook me up.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure he'll get a couple in.
Well, I'm hoping.
Every time I go there, I'm thinking, I almost buy a kit every time I go there of just something, because he's got Tamiya cars there. He's got all kinds of cool stuff. And I'm just like, man, for some reason, every time I'm in a hobby store, I want to buy something. I just still like all this stuff. So
yeah, you're still like a kid out there. Larry Tom saying I should attend that race. So, I mean, it's not a problem. I just, how I am with around a lot of people, get social anxiety. Larry's saying, what am I getting you? I was monotasking. In case I cannot get a Joel Johnson Kyosho Ultimate Edition car, from '87. You're my man. I need you to just put one aside. I'll tell you if I get one. I'll message you, and then you can just sell it to whoever. Let's see. Where was I was gonna make a point about that? About my pre-order.
You had a point.
Well, I was gonna say something about it. What the heck was that now? Pre-order. Yeah. So anyway, Tower Hobbies. So I was satisfied when you told me. I didn't know that they were part of Horizon. Now I'm getting when I go log into YouTube. Excuse me, I have a bit of a cold, but maybe it's coronavirus, or maybe I'll bring that to LCRC.
No.
But when you told me it was part of Horizon, which I didn't know, so I feel safer about that. I might get my Joel Johnson edition. And Joel said he'll make it a little extra special for me. So,
well, you have to send it to him, then he's going to autograph it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We got something in the works there, and plus we're gonna have him on the podcast when that releases. Yeah, I've already contacted him. I've been bugging him.
So, you know where I'm going?
I'm gonna show you something.
You know where I'm going with this?
Huh?
The whole last episode, all we talked about was Joel Johnson. He was running a Legends race.
Yeah, he's the man.
I pull up the results. He wasn't even racing.
Yeah, he just showed up to make it. Listen, he's Magic. Joel Magic Johnson. He made an appearance to bump up the entries. And yeah, I think he just ran one time and that was it, right? He had to go.
I don't know. Yeah, I was like, today I'm like, you know what? Before the podcast, I'm like, I need to go check the results so we can kind of follow up on where we were at the end. I'm like, why is Josh Cyril dominating every race?
Yeah, because Joel wasn't there.
And Joel is not even in the results. And I'm like, and he was the only one we were watching during the podcast. Now I find out he wasn't racing. And then Josh wasn't even there for the practice and shows up and then dominates.
What is with that? I mean, who else is there at the Legends race? Paul Lemieux was racing, right?
Ralph Birch, who is probably one of the most underrated drivers of all time, I would say. Ralph Birch is.
All right.
I'll have to look at. I have to make sure. Let me go back to my top list here.
All right.
My top.
You do that, and I want to show you something I have here. Hold on one second. You do that.
What the heck?
All right. Here.
I got Ralph Birch on my list.
Yeah, Ralph Birch. And I have a Joel Johnson ad. Look at this.
Russ Bryant, what's going on, man?
It says here, the car that Joel Johnson used to win his 22nd Roar National title is ready for you to win your first. All you had to do is buy this car and you win a title. Yeah, I don't think it's that easy. But anyway, look at that ad. See that?
I was definitely at. What does it say? What race he won there? Like what year?
1995.
Okay.
The Roar modified on-road and oval national championships he won with this car. Well, not this car, but obviously it was if it's oval, it's the super speedway version.
Yeah, that's the road course one right there.
Yeah, this is the road course one. Joel Magic Johnson, man. That's all I gotta say.
Well, I did not have that car, but I had many Associated 12 scale cars.
Well, this ain't Associated. It's a Revolver.
Well, no, I'm saying I had many associated cars, but I'd never had a Trinity car.
It's a Revolver 22J. Magic Johnson, man.
All right, we got to get off of Joel here.
Soon to be on the podcast, folks. I've contacted him.
Okay.
All right, so let's see. Let's catch up on here in the chat room, and I appreciate you guys joining the chat. We even got some YouTube chats here, so
yes,
head on over.
The YouTubes.
Yeah, I'm trying to crank up that YouTube. I never promote it. Let's crank it up. Let's try and get that plaque that they give out to everybody. I doubt we'll reach that, but
for the
anyway.
1 million subscribers.
Yeah. Did you ever get a plaque from YouTube? I mean, you got to be up there, right?
No, not even close.
Oh, okay.
I think you got to get. I think the first milestone is like 100,000.
Oh, we'll never reach that. Forget that. I mean, I could just go to these sites that boost up your numbers and make it look like you have. But I don't want to do that.
Well, I'm sure people do that for sure.
So Justin Doyle checking in saying, I think I'm getting this 8-scale tire thing figured out. If you equip your bag with all the recon relapse, oh, I get it here. With all the ER, which is RE, recon relapse, and he said relapse twice. In all the compounds, that's the cheat code. Okay, whatever. That's pretty interesting, though, Jason. You have recon, relapse, and what else do you have?
Reflex.
That's what he meant to type.
We actually have more than that, too. It is pretty scary how many tires we have with re in front of it.
Yeah, RE. That is scary.
Jader Lopez was the first person that kind of brought that up to me. It was kind of funny. But I don't know why it ended up like that, but
I'm surprised I didn't check. Usually I catch on to that stuff, but
yeah, I don't know why, but for some reason, I guess those are just all appealing to me. Those
so
names.
It wasn't planned, right?
No.
Tom Hansen saying, "Where is Kirby?" Kirby will be here tomorrow night, Friday night podcast. Jason might be here, and we're going to be looking at an old RC car action brought to you by Car Action Boost. Head over to Car Action Boost, subscribe. It's $50 a year. I ponied up for it. They didn't give it to me for free. I did the $50 a year, and not only do you get all the old publications, but you get all these exclusive interviews. They sent me an email today about, hey, there's an interview with this guy, stuff like that. But it's pretty cool. And then you can also, what I like about it is you can flip the pages like you're actually reading a magazine, like in the old days. Remember when you used to do that?
When you used to turn pages.
When you turn pages in school during class. I like this one because I always joke around with Jason about this. Jared, I'm not going to try and pronounce your last name. Does someone at JCon have drug issues? That's a funny one because I always joke around with you about that, right, Jason?
Yeah, you have in the past. Yeah, definitely. Nobody has any drug issues for sure.
No, we're all we're tested on a weekly basis.
And it's just, I think what's funny is I'm trying to think what I feel are some of the best tire names of all time. And, I have a list on my phone of names that if I think of something, I put it on my phone. I have a list of written down that I printed a long time ago. I have by my desk, and I just kind of look these things over every time we got a product that needs a name. And some of these words are just kind of cool to me. Like I don't really ever look at them like. I actually look at them kind of backwards. I look at it like when I see the word, when I see the word, I see the tire, right? Like,
right.
Like if somebody says to me, he's having a relapse, I think of the tire. You know what I mean? But yeah,
Right. Yeah.
I think I thought, to me, when I was doing my racing, um, I thought that one of the coolest tire names was, I always liked Fuzzies and Square Fuzzies. I thought Square Fuzzies was the coolest tire name back then.
Yeah.
And there's the Whole Shots, of course, and that was a cool name, but I didn't think it wasn't original in a sense. Like, you hear the word, whole shot a lot in any kind of racing, right? You get the whole
Yeah.
shot, right? And that's why they named it that, I'm sure. But to me, I just thought, like, it was so cool to have kind of made up words too, that were combinations of things and different. And then once you had like an interesting name and you had an interesting tire, it made it that much more attractive, I thought.
Okay.
So, to me, if you just said, when we have a couple boring names too, but we have a few that are kind of boring. But, like, to me, if you just said, "Oh, you're running the Spike tires," and you just call them Spike tires, like,
No.
it's not that cool. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, to me, like, if you just said, and instead of Spike, you called it like Crew Cut or something. Because like the spiky, you know what I mean? I think of like the Joel Johnson spiky hair, that flat top. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, so you could say, like, instead of having a spike tire, you have the Crew Cut. And like, to me, like, you're kind of getting across a similar point, but like in a much funner way. And
I get it. Yeah.
And so yeah,
Makes you think a little too. Rehab. Well, is he thinking of this or is he thinking of this? Yeah.
Yeah, to
Or
me,
I gotta
I don't really
rehab
look at,
my program. You know what I mean? I gotta rehab my program.
yeah, so what happened is, I think we kind of got on that tangent when we had the tire called the Detox. We came out with this very interesting close pin design tire. There's really nothing that's ever been like it before, I don't believe. And for some reason, I was watching something, and you just, for a while, you hear like this, these different words and things, and I'm just like, yeah, let's just go with this name. This is
Yeah, I like it.
And when the tire came out and we started using it, the name caught on really, really quickly with people, and they didn't forget it. People really responded to that name. And then we had the rehabs and relapse and these different things. But
It does sound like somebody has a problem, but yeah, well, I like it though. I seriously like it. It's cool.
yeah, I mean, they're just words, right?
Exactly. Jason Santos checking in. He says, "Hey guys, sorry I didn't make it to that race on August 5th, I think it was. I was in the Harrisburg area, but I'll tell you what, Jason, I almost made it there, but then I went outside and it was too damn hot. But I might be in trouble for the Mugen Challenge. I'm showing up for the Mugen Challenge. Mark my word. And Jason Santos, one day I will show up to a Pit Stop Hobbies vintage race. Is that what they're doing? I like this. Tom Bishop says here, Jason, I think the next name for a tire should be the Weekender. I do like that. Weekender. It's not a bad name. It's pretty good. I don't think that has anything to do with the drug reference, but
Yeah, Justin Doyle mentions here in the chat, dirt webs and double D's, or and
double D's is good. Yeah.
Allison named that one. That was the first tire we made, and she named
the double D's part.
Yep.
Wow. The cancel culture didn't come after you.
And dirt webs was my name because it was
Like a
web. We just had to use webs because the tire had a kind of web pattern, and then dirt. Kinwald was involved. It was a tire that he cut up and put together. So dirt was for Brian Kinwald, and then webs was my addition to the look of it, why it would have looked. And so we came up with dirt webs, and it is a good one. I think that's a good one too.
Those are two good names there. Jason Santos is saying need to have a name the tire competition, which in our personal chat, Jason has been asking us name for tires, and we've been kind of coming up with some form. So, I don't know if you like any of them, but
yeah, I think there was a couple good ones in there.
Yeah. Alex Sturgeon, the Hobbyplex podcast on YouTube. He thinks I still think the ellipses should have been called spider webs.
And I think I can totally agree with him. I want to say that one of the reasons we didn't do that is because I was thinking we were going to make a tire that looked even more like spider webs, and then we were going to name that one spider webs. So the progression I thought was going to be, well, we're going to have this tire like ellipses, but we're going to make another one that's going to look even more like spider webs, and we'll use that name when we get to that tire. But we did a lot more slick track racing, slick tires, so we never really made another bar tire yet. So
this dude has answers for everything, Alex. So I like it. Justin Zubert saying, if it's 95 degrees, are you still showing up to LCR? I'll be at LCRC for the Mugen Challenge, no matter what the weather, because I don't get to see my boy Jason much, and the Worlds is still kind of up in the air. I just need a room to stay in. If somebody can hook me up with the room to stay in, I'll be there. That's all I need. I could get my flight. I mean, you look at. I don't need anybody to pay for my room, but I guess they're all booked up, right, Jason?
No.
Are they all booked up?
No,
they're not. All right. Well, maybe I can make that work.
Well, I remember I showed you that it's open, and I said, "Should I book it?" And you said, "Or should I wait?" And you said, "You should wait."
All right. Well, I don't know. I'm pretty sure, like I'm 95% sure I can make that race. Not a problem. I don't know what it is about
Commitment issues.
I just have, what's that?
Commitment
and social anxiety. I feel like I shouldn't be at certain places. Even though that's like my environment, and I'll be with Jason and I'll be fine. I don't know how to explain it. Introvert. That's all I got to tell you. Justin Jubert saying I bailed last night. I'll be there. Are you going to be there, Jubert? That's the question.
You know what I'm kind of excited about? They better still have them. That Kirby introduced me to some kind of lime flavored tea at Sheets. I was killing those things, man. That was my dream.
Really? Where were we killing them at?
At LCRC last time I was there.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, Kirby introduced me to that drink, and I was just after that I was just killing them, like,
because I know you were somewhere recently.
Yeah.
With the Sheets in the area. Where was that at?
Man, where was that?
Was it up Connecticut? Or no?
No, where was I? Maybe they had them in. Did they have them in New York?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Might have been New York.
Justin Jubert in the chat saying I will be at a concert on Friday and Sunday night. I would be at. Oh, so he's not going to be at LCRC. Yeah, well, he retired anyway. He's done with he's retired.
He stopped by the race when I was at the E Nationals there in New York, and
right. I don't think that's too far from him. So
Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, I'm looking forward to. Obviously, it's I
Hanging
kind of
out with me.
well, yeah. Well, one of the things is we got Paul. We got the three-headed monster, Paul, Tyler, Hannah. We got them at the Nationals this weekend, and I decided to stay back because I'm like, I'll take the next weekend and go to Mugen because normally, Tyler went there for us last year.
Right.
I was there probably two years before that, but yeah, it's been a while since I've been there, so I'm ready to go back and hang out there at LCRC.
Yeah. And hanging out with me. Me and Kirby, what better, Kirby will be there Friday, I guess, right? And I'll be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Doesn't get any better than that. Jason might cancel his plans now. Oh man. All right. Tom Bishop saying the Sheets is a PA South thing. But I think it goes even further than PA South. I think it goes into Maryland. Well, I know it goes into Virginia, so
We got some. I mean, it's some lime flavored tea that Kirby
oh,
brought
the
to me.
Gallagher's. The
That's what it
Gallagher's or
is.
whatever.
That's what
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's going to be my drink. Hopefully, they still got it there.
Yeah, they'll have it.
I'm going to have to get that on ice.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun weekend.
Got to
It's gonna
get
be a
that
fun
cooler on ice.
weekend. So, are we bringing the trailer there so we can sit in air condition, or we got sitting out in the heat?
No trailer.
No trailer, but we'll be under the tent. We'll be hanging out with Mayfield, Spencer. Is Spencer going to be there?
Spencer's not going to be there.
All right, so Mayfield,
Adam
obviously,
Drake.
and who else?
Adam Drake.
Adam Drake. Okay.
We got a lot of racers there. I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to be a big event. They're working on the track right now.
And if any of those guys need my help, I'll be there. Last time I helped Adam Drake out, I was at the driver's stand with him, and he's like, "Hey, can you run back and get my gun?" And I'm like, "Oh Jesus!" And I ran back and got his gun. Thankfully,
Fuel gun.
fuel gun, right? Yeah, fuel gun. I gotta meet that. Yeah, I better watch myself there. I had to go get his fuel gun, not his gun. And thankfully Rhonda was there because he's like, "Hey, can you get it out of my bag? It's in my bag. It should be right on top." I'm like, "Oh my god, if I screw this up, Adam Drake's gonna be pissed."
Nice.
Kirby hand checking in, saying that I brought that I brought back a bottle of water. Yeah, I was afraid I might do that. So, all right, Kirby. Well, we'll see you tomorrow night, Kirby. Justin Jubert saying Gotti had no clue what he was talking about. It's true. Well, I was just hoping that I would get everything correct. I was like, okay. But Rhonda was there. She grabbed it and said, "Here, give it to Tom." I was like, sweet. Because I was seriously nervous, dude. I thought I had to go digging through his bag. And then I'd pull something out wrong. But
9mm in there.
Kirby's Kirby's taking a nap. I saw B4 and I thought he was talking about the Associated B4. But he's taking a nap before work. Good night. All right, Kirby, good night. We'll see you tomorrow on the Radio Empire podcast. I guess we could call it 252 edition. This is 251. Justin Jubert, the panic in his face was excellent. It seriously was because he looked over at me and he's like, "God, go get my fuel gun out of my bag." And I'm like, I'm like, "Oh no, don't screw this up." All right, so there we go. I think I'm all caught up.
So yeah, I just had the Airbnb host message me yesterday asking if they said what they're like. what snacks or breakfast type of stuff would you like us to stock in the Airbnb? And I'm thinking, damn, I didn't really even know how to answer.
Yeah, really. I mean, so somebody's on site to cook you breakfast and
No, no,
stuff?
no, 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 no. Like they're just gonna leave like snacks at there for you.
I mean, I guess just donuts or whatever.
Donuts.
So, is this something? I know you sent me the photos of the Airbnb. Is this something I can stay at, or do I have to travel back and forth to Carrie's house? Which is not. It's about 45 minutes away. Not
We
even.
got we got to see what.
Here's the problem. I snore, so I don't want to be
Yeah,
distracting anybody. If I can,
you're uninvited.
all right, all right. I'll just go to Carrie's house and then I'll just drive up every day. That'd be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alex Sturgeon says edibles. Oh well, there you go. So just said.
I don't even really know what is edibles. What is that?
Well, you know what it is. It's
No,
like
I don't. I don't
just
know
to
what
make you
it.
high. Let's say.
Really?
Yeah.
So you just eat stuff? That's what it is?
Yeah, it's like mushrooms and or gummy bears that are THC laced,
Wow.
make you
Okay.
high.
All right. Well,
Yeah, that's not legal in Pennsylvania, Alex. We would not be partaking in any of that. Just so you know.
yeah, I have no idea. Every time like I see when somebody types that, I always think of like you ever see that store called Edible Arrangements?
Oh, right. Yeah, exactly. Like the
That's what I
flowers
think
they can
of.
eat.
Yeah, that's what I think of.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is a different type of edibles. So the ones that will really get you high. You'll think that Mayfield's winning, and he may actually not be winning. That's how it will affect you. All right. So Joe Jair saying, wait, do you not live with Carrie? Haven't you been together for 40 years? So it's hard to no, Carrie lives with me. She's allowed to work from home. And she has a house in Harrisburg. So what I will do is next weekend. She's going to Vegas, actually. I was talking to Jason about this because you were saying that Allison wanted to go to Vegas to see Adele. And
I'd love to see Adele.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't listen to music, so I don't know who everybody is. But she's going to see Adele with her sister. And her house in Harrisburg is actually like 2 miles away from Motorama. That gives you an idea. And so what I will do is go to LCRC, and at night I will go to Carrie's house, which is I think it's under, it's under 45 minutes from there. And I'll go stay there overnight, and that way I could snore away without bothering Jason. And perfect. And I will come to LCRC in the morning and hang out. So this is something I will do. I will not disappoint Jason. Oh, maybe I will by showing up. But no, it'll be a lot of fun and hanging out with the guys and seeing everybody. So I'm excited about it. And yeah, I really look forward to it. So maybe even the Worlds. We'll see what happens. Tom Bishop saying I should pitch a tent in the backyard. Pinch a tent in the backyard. I guess at LCRC. I guess they have like a camping section where everybody's going to just be sleeping. A lot of comments there. Yeah. Justin Doyle says, yeah, the Carrie's house threw me off. So yeah, she, like I said, she has a house in Harrisburg and 2 miles from Motorama. So I haven't been to Motorama. And actually I had a message from somebody recently saying, hey, when's the last time you're at Motorama? And man, I think it was like 2014, I think it was. So
That's coming up on like a 11-year anniversary.
Yeah.
10-year anniversary.
And I don't know why. I just haven't been back to it. So it's kind of it goes back to my introvert thing. So
It's a thing.
uh, it's a thing. I get social anxiety. So if you see me at, I'm fine. I don't know. I'm fine at LCRC. But if I go to the Worlds, I kind of would be like, feel like I'm kind of out of my element for some reason. And
It's all those video games.
I guess, but I mean, as long as I'm hanging out with Jason, I'll be fine. But if Jason kind of ignores me, then I'll be in trouble.
Yep.
That's a yeah, yeah. Joe's there saying he almost bought a house by Thunder Road because they're only 120K in that area. Dodge that bullet. I'm not sure. Jason, maybe you know what that means, but Thunder Road.
Well, yeah. He's talking about the track that we used to have our event at the end of each year for the NCTS series. So he said he almost bought a house near there, but
Where's that at?
it was in St. Cloud, Minnesota.
All right. Okay. Justin Doyle saying a beer or two will cure that social anxiety. Well, I don't think alcohol is not allowed at the track, so we can't do that. We want to play by the rules. I love it. Dave Bowman. I haven't heard this name in the chat. Are spectators allowed at the Worlds? Are the pit areas restricted? And this is the question I had for you, Jason. Am I going to be allowed in the pits with you if I go to the Worlds?
You'll probably be allowed. You can hang out under our. We're going to have a tent there.
Okay.
But you probably won't be able to get into the pits where the racers are.
Even with the Radio Impound podcast media.
Well, if you have a Radio Impound podcast media badge, then you probably would be able to.
So would it be still worth it for me to go to Worlds if I can't get into the pits? Because I won't be able to hang out with you, right?
No. We'll be hanging. We'll like our pit area is going to be under our tent, and
I'll be allowed into the tent.
Yeah.
Okay. Because if I'm on the outside looking in, I'm in trouble. I'll be out of there in a heartbeat.
What I think is going on is traditionally the way they've always set up the race is that you have to have a badge to enter the pits, either as a driver or a mechanic or a media or a race official. That's the only way you could get
IFMAR rules
into the pits, right? That's an IFMAR setup. And then they have areas for spectators. So I think the way that they're going to do this is, I want to say that they had a live video last week with Larry, and they plan on having some bleachers in there for spectators. And spectators are allowed, and it is, usually all free to attend. You can come out and check it out, and it's free. But I think you want to get there at a time where it's not going to be super packed. And I have a feeling that they're going to have a lot of trouble with too many spectators there. There's going to be a lot of people trying to get in to watch, especially on main day. And you're going to have everybody that raced in the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s and their buddies and everybody coming in, during that time. And so it's going to be a challenge because the way the track is set up there, it's not as easy to have a lot of spectators and a lot of pit area at the same time. So it's going to be tricky. But I think they'll get it worked out. They're working on it right now, and they got a lot of, they have a lot of a lot of help there. They have a lot of volunteers, and I think they'll do a good job keeping things organized as much as they can.
I'm just going through the comments here in the chat. Nick DeVito, what's up, Nick? Nick, by the way, promotes radio on podcasts. So I'm at the Nats running my XX4 and B2. Well, that's interesting.
That's really cool because I actually tuned on today to watch, and he was actually up when I was there, so it was kind of interesting.
Nice.
Like right when I tuned in, I was like, "Whoa, there he is!"
All right, I'm rooting for Nick, and then Longs Nick puts in his sponsorship Radio Impound podcast. Don't just put RIP.
Sounds like he does.
All right, sweet, Nick. So I got to watch this this weekend.
So yeah, we got some more comments here. We got
here we go. Nick saying he is repping RIP logos on my bodies. Sweet. I appreciate it, Nick, for real. That's awesome, man. He's been doing it since pretty much since we started. So I appreciate Nick a lot, and anybody that gets our name out there. So, and unfortunately, we don't offer much to you guys. We don't offer anything other than shout outs, but it is what it is, right? So thank you. What else were you looking at, Jason, here?
Yeah, one was interesting here from Joe Zaire talking about EFRA officiating.
He's saying hopefully nobody from EFRA will officiate. Cherry on racing in Europe is against the rules. They threatened to boot Neil Craig from the Euros. Well, what's this all about, Jason?
I don't know that particular story 100%, but normally at the Worlds and races, and I would assume that it's the same in EFRA, is you can't, while the qualifier is going on, you're not supposed to be underneath the driver's stand, like telling the racer, what his lap times are or cheering him on and somehow trying to influence the what's happening, right?
Okay.
So, like, for instance, at the Worlds, they don't tell you really what your pace is and all that while the race is going on in a qualifier. So they don't say, like, hey, car number 2, Ryan Mayfield, you're in the lead. You're on a 18 laps, 5:02 pace, followed by. They don't do that because they think that's like coaching the driver. So
interesting.
So traditionally, you're not allowed to do that in IFMAR or EFRA races. But in the main events, you're allowed to cheer the racers on. You know what I mean? Because in the main events, the lap times really don't necessarily matter. You're just cheering heads up, right? So it's like you're just cheering for the cars to beat each other. And as far as I know, and as far all the worlds that I've raced, all the races I've been there, you can cheer during the main events or whatever you want to do. But during the qualifying is where the race announcer's not supposed to coach, and nobody underneath the driver's stand or around is supposed to coach either.
Wow. Dang. Zaire saying he would get kicked out for that.
He might, right. Yeah. He might get kicked out.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is interesting, what Alex was saying. And you know what? This is awesome that he looked into this and thought about it. And it is a major concern what Alex is saying here. And you can say, Gotti, what he was saying.
Alex says, when I was considering putting in for the Worlds, figuring how to separate spectators from everything was a major issue for us.
It is. And because at Alex's track, there is very little room for spectators also, they would have to kind of redesign the track around having spectators in a sense. I think they'd almost have to put like a border around the track itself so that they could put spectators around the whole track, not just like on the top side, is kind of the way his track is. So yeah, it would be a challenge there. You could do it.
So you can't stand there and just root a guy on like Mayfield or
In the
Dakota.
mains, you can. In the mains, you can. But
So you just can't be beneath the driver's stand.
What they don't want you doing is being underneath the driver's stand, yelling up at Ryan like, "You're on a TQ run, dude. 21-2. You're on a fast lap." Like
Yeah.
they don't want that coaching, and the announcer doesn't coach either.
Got you. Well, isn't his guy like? Well, I guess. Yeah. Never mind. I was thinking 8 scale where they had the headsets. Isn't his guy in there saying, "Hey, you're on the you're on pace, TQ pace, or whatever."
Yeah, and that's a good point. That's a good point. With the headsets, you can really do that to your driver in 8 scale. So,
and nobody's monitoring that, right? It's not like the NFL where they have a 15-second cutoff to the quarterback. So there's no like Roar Nationals, for example.
Yeah.
There's nobody monitoring those headset. You can talk to Mayfield the whole time during the race.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay.
I think that's kind of something when they decided to allow the headsets that they kind of had to just know that was happening during the race. What Mark Pavidis told me was, interestingly enough, that when he went to Australia to race
91.
No. This is he went to Australia to run 8 scale, and he said that a lot of the mechanics there had code words they would say during the races to coach their drivers, so that wouldn't be considered coaching.
Wow.
So like they had like kind of like their own little language. Yeah, it's not like it was many things, but he just remembers he was there racing and he was like, well, this is weird. I don't know what any of these guys are talking about. And he figured out they had like their own little language, so it didn't sound like you were saying,
okay,
yeah,
pineapples. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, so this was at the Worlds?
No, when he did that, it was just an Australian. Maybe it was maybe like a FEMA race, or not FEMA, FEMCA. 2 different words.
So, well, just let me, like LCRC Raceway here coming up, Mugen Challenge. If I had a headset and talking to Mayfield, I could talk to him the whole time without a problem, just because it's a Mugen race, I guess.
At any race running 8 scale with a headset, you can talk to the driver the whole time if you want.
Yeah. And even Roar, IFMAR.
Yeah, you can.
And nobody's monitoring it.
No.
So who? All right.
But all these rules that we're talking about were prior to headsets.
Right. Man, that's interesting. So you can tell Mayfield, hey, you're way ahead. Nobody's behind you. You're fine. I mean, what would it matter anyway? I don't know. Like, where would that be a disadvantage if you had somebody telling Mayfield info?
Well, they don't want it. It's not the disadvantage. It's the advantage of telling a racer. The old mindset that they made those rules about was that, say you had 10 different 2-wheel drive modified races, and each qualifier, say there's a driver out there and he's driving his own pace, and what they don't want you to do is as a person below the stand or the announcer call out how you're doing, and then you can adjust to that coaching, right?
Okay. Right. Yeah. If you say you're way out in the lead, then you can conserve fuel, for example, if you're an E-scale.
Well, this is more about 10 scale. This is more about 10 scale racing where you could be out there cruising and you're thinking, hey, I'm going good. This is a good clean run. And then they announce that your pace is off the TQ run, and somehow or another you start driving faster and harder, and then you get the TQ, and they would say, well, if you weren't coached to that, you didn't, your natural pace was slower, but you were coached and you picked it up, and that helped you TQ. So they felt like the best way to be fair was to not say anything about any driver's pace.
Okay.
It's not about, they'll call traffic for you. They'll when you're up there driving your qualifier, and if you catch up to somebody, they'll say, hey, car 4, you have a faster car approaching, and then you give them way and they tell you thank you. But they don't sit there and you don't just have this guy just rattling, just talking nonstop, saying he's on a 5:02 pace. If he can get it down a half a second, he's
wait. So you can talk to car 4?
The race
director,
the race referees talk to the drivers.
Right. Okay. It's not okay.
I'm out of it. It sounds more complicated than it is. But at the Worlds, they have referees on the driver's stand. The referees on the driver's stand talk to the racers through a separate PA
channel.
Through a separate PA system.
Channel. In his headset.
No headsets.
All right. Well, obviously, okay, there's no headsets in 10 scale. It's in 8 scale only.
Yeah.
So you're saying, so the referee talks to the PA announcer.
No, referee doesn't talk to the PA announcer.
Oh, man. Go ahead.
The referees talk to the drivers.
Over the PA.
That
or just on the stand.
That is only on the driver's stand. Correct.
Only on the driver's stand. Okay. So let's say Mayfield's right there and the referee's right there. Yep. What is he telling Mayfield?
He's not saying anything to him until he either is the faster car in the race, or if he's the slower car and needs to move out of the way. So
he just whispers to Mayfield, "Hey, move over."
He does it into the PA system on the driver's stand.
Okay, man, I don't know if I'm listening to that PA system though as I'm driving. Do you think those guys are really?
You hear it. Yeah.
They're hearing it. Okay. I don't know. You're so in tune to what you're doing. You know how they say, well, you don't hear the crowd. You don't hear the.
Well, that is a thing. That is a thing for sure. And they will repeat themselves.
Okay.
Like, for instance, the guy that did the race refereeing on the driver's stand in Spain, he was absolutely on it. Like, what we do here, and we're kind of bouncing between 10 scale and 8 scale, which is
it's a little confusing, but
getting you kind of confused. But let's just talk. So the 8 scale Worlds last year,
okay,
they're 10-minute qualifiers, right?
Right.
And there's a warm up before the race. So when you set your car down for nitro, you come out of pit lane, you get on the track, you're warming up. You're not on the clock, right?
Right.
It's like 2 or 3 minutes long. So you get a couple laps, but you also have to take into account the racer needs to pull back into the pits to top off their fuel, right?
Okay.
Well, when you do that, you come into the pits and you top off your fuel tank. You're not allowed to stop or cut the track anymore. So say you're Mayfield and you're Ty Tessman, for instance. You both decide to come in at the exact same time to top your fuel tank off before the qualifier starts. You're in a lot of races here in America and other races, Mayfield could jump the track, Ty Tessman could jump the track, and they'll get apart from each other, right? Because they don't want to start next to each other.
Right.
So but at the Worlds, you're not allowed to do that. Wherever you come out of the pit lane, you can't cut the track. They don't even want you to slow down. You can't stop. If you stop or hesitate, the race referee on the driver's stand yells at you.
Wow.
So
Okay.
if you want to space out, you have to think ahead. You have to say, look, me and Ty just came to the pits together. If I want to space myself out from him before we get on the clock, I need to do that now.
Okay.
And
Makes sense. Yep.
and if you hesitate where it looks like you're stopping, they yell at you, and you can't cut the track. Like that's a big deal. You can't cut the
Oh.
track.
Right. Makes sense.
So it's a totally different way of doing things, and they do all this because they feel that it's more fair in the long run to do it this way than it is to kind of do it willy-nilly like how we traditionally do it, where at a lot of these races you can do kind of whatever you want till the clock starts, right? If you want to cut the track 20 times before the clock starts, you can do whatever you want. Like
Right.
it's like they'll kind of let you do whatever. So but at the Worlds, they have a set of things. There's a referee on the driver stand, and so
Wow.
so jumping back to 10 scale, I think what you can expect at hobby action will be there's the scores the scores table, the scoring area where the race announcer will be,
Right.
and they talk to the crowd. So if they talk to the pits, they talk to the crowd, they talk to the spectators, right? And then the referees on the driver's stand talk to the racers.
Okay.
And so what you can expect is when you go up to your qualifier, you get you'll probably get a warm-up lap, and then you got to pull in, and you'll have a set position where you have to start from on the track. And they'll start the qualifiers wherever you're either seated or you're qualified according to position. So, Spencer goes out first, Brock Champlin second, Aiden Horn third, whoever fourth, fifth. They're running. Now, if that number one car, say whoever went out first, say he's leading, for instance, and he catches up to that car that started last, and you're ahead of him on the clock, they'll ask that guy to move. They'll say, car number 10, you have a faster car approaching, please give him room. And the referee says that to the group of drivers.
Over the PA system.
The PA system that's on the driver's stand.
Got it.
I'm not sure how they'll set that up, but that's how it's been in the past. And so and that's how they like to do it. And
all right.
So but the announcer will just say, the announcer announcing to the pits and to the spectators, he will just say what car numbers are leading first, second, third. They won't say what time they're on or what their projected time is. They'll just say, hey, who's leading? What's going on in the race. And it's a real kind of a blasé feeling to the whole thing. People aren't yelling and screaming and telling jokes. And like Alex said earlier, he kind of, what word did he use here? Heckles. You kind of heckle people that and like they don't do any of that. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's
this is serious.
Yeah, like one of the last 8 scale races, I ran a Roar Nationals, and Barry Baker was the announcer, and I was racing, and I remember he was heckling me. He was heckling me while I was racing. You know what I mean? And
it was
Barry Baker when he was announcing.
Oh, of course, yeah. I'd imagine that was probably pretty funny.
We know each other,
right?
But this is the Nationals, and I'm like qualifying, but he's like heckling me, but that's so they don't do that. You know what I mean? Like at a race like that.
I mean, that's obvious. Yeah.
Yeah, at a race like that, that's not going on.
Right. Well, that's what I'm thinking. Is this too serious of a race for me to show up to? I mean, not that I'm going to create any problems.
I think you're gonna like. I think you would like it. I think you'd be like, dude, this is freaking cool.
All right. Well, I guess I gotta book my flight.
I
Mac
think
Vanderbeek. Mac Vanderbeek. That's a new name on the Facebook chat that I've noticed. So I appreciate you joining the chat. So Mac Vanderbeek. Bartel from New Jersey. There, Bartel, New Jersey. Hey guys, what's up?
yeah. I mean, Mac Vanderbeek. He has.
That's the
He's a
first time
good.
I see his name in the chat, so I got to give him a shout out. I appreciate you. Share it with your friends. Tell them to like the page, like the YouTube page. Let's go.
I think with Mac, he has both of his sons racing the world, and I think maybe even himself. I can't remember, but
Oh, he's racing the worlds?
his both of his sons are, I believe, for sure.
Oh man, I might see you there, Mac. That's cool. I'll
I
get an
think
autograph from Mac.
I think that he might be better off not even watching.
Wait, what do you mean?
He said he's going to get kicked out because he's going to be coaching, but it might be better for him than not.
You're fine. Just coach away. Do what you want. Larry Tom won't, Matt. He won't. He won't mind. Bartel.
And the other thing is,
Where am I at?
traditionally, when we have the worlds, when we have the worlds in the USA, it's not quite as serious as it is in the other countries. So
What? It's the world.
no, no,
We
no.
made-
Like no, the structure is not quite as rigid. Like when these races are in other countries, the structure of it feels much more rigid. In the US, it's a little more laid back. It still has that.
I wonder how it feels for the Europeans, though. Maybe when they come over here, it feels structured.
No, they're always
No?
they're always just like, man, this just feels like a club race to us.
Oh man, I've been watching all the because I'm getting jacked up for my Joel Johnson edition of the Ultima. I've been watching all the 87, 89 worlds on YouTube, and it's been real exciting. So I don't know where I'm going with that, but other than they've been over in Europe mostly, so pretty cool. Bartel Jr. saying from New Jersey, but he's living in South Carolina. I think he said that before, but yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, he's
He's
always
rep-
checking in from YouTube, which is cool.
Yeah, YouTube. Go over to YouTube, guys. I like that page. I think we'll get eventually banned from Facebook. So I don't know why we would get banned, but I'm just saying that. Mac Vanderbeek saying boys are, dad not so much. He's not wrong. So you're not wrong, Jason. Justin Jubert says I would come to the Worlds, but I have he has 2 concerts to attend that week. Are you kidding me, dude?
Who's this
This
guy?
motivates me even more to get to the Worlds.
Who is he? James Hetfield or something? Like he's got concerts every weekend. Like he's on tour.
I know. What is he doing? Justin Jubert. He retires from RC and all of a sudden he's going to all these concerts. Man, this motivates me even more to get to the Worlds. That way I could say, I was at the Worlds. You were not.
Well, that's what
I mean, I could
be doing.
Yeah, and I could say, hey, I was at the Mugen Challenge and you were not. Imagine if me going to the Mugen Challenge and then the following month going to the World. That completes my year. I'm done.
You could go to the Turf Nats also with me and at RC Madness. Then you could have the trifecta.
Wait a minute. When's that?
The week before the Worlds.
Oh, Jesus. Jason, what are you doing to me?
Sorry, man.
What are you doing to me? Carrie's going to be like, damn, you're really getting out there.
Let me talk to you.
Let me talk to you. Yeah. Tune in. Adam Peters. That's a new name for me, too. Maybe he's been in the chat, but tuning in from Arizona. So he's not far from the World. How about that?
Adam's one of our racers.
J Concepts drivers.
Has done a lot of racing over the years. He races with Spencer quite a bit. He's been doing a lot of 8 scale lately.
So he's good. Real good, right?
Yeah, he's a good racer. Yeah.
Awesome. Adam Peters, thanks for joining us, man. Spread the word. Get it out there. Share it. Go to the YouTube channel, subscribe. You don't have to listen to the show, just download it. Doesn't even matter if you download it or not, but anyway. Jason Santos saying Vonats with your ultimate. Man, I'm telling you what, bro. And I've been talking about this with Jason. I really don't know if I want to. I would never want to race it, to be honest with you. But like I'm going back and forth with Jason during the week. I'm like, man, should I get this radio? The the Futaba 10PX. I want to get the best radio, but Jason's saying I should get this and that. But I'm like always like, I want to get the best stuff. I'm never gonna race it, but I just want to know that I have it. I'm pretty weird, and Carrie can attest to that. But I need to have like, I don't know what the best radio is. They're, Futaba's pretty good, Airtronics obviously. But whatever the best radio is, I'd like to have it, put it in there. It's probably worth more than the car, but I'll deal with it. Do I want to race it? No, man. It's the Joel Johnson edition. I just want to keep it clean. I want to present it on the show that I have it. And here's the results here. If you look on the page here, Nick DeVito's in there. 5th place there.
Yeah, he's on the screen right now.
Yeah, he's on the screen right now. Nick DeVito, Team Rip. Gotta pump that up from 5th place, Nick.
Hold it up, honey. Show him what you got.
Yeah. Oh, there's a Losi bike. Yeah, there's a Losi bike. I see somebody created an Evo Knievel Losi bike.
Hold it up, honey. Show everybody what you got.
So there it is, the Losi bike. Have you actually run that anywhere, or just on the shelf still?
No, it's just been sitting here.
All right, well, we'll take that. Jason Santos again, the Ultima. I think I just want to keep it clean, but I want to have. I'm weird. Like I want to have all the best stuff in it. And Jason's like sending me Kyosho links and stuff. Like
it's fine. That stuff is good, man.
I know it is. Yeah, it is. I just want to. I don't know what it is. I just want to have the best radio. I'm never gonna rate. I don't know.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. I'm weird. I know, but whatever. Justin Juber saying I just looked at. I really do have 2 concerts that week. Whatever, Justin. Yeah, concert. If I go to the Mugen Challenge, you don't. That's pretty sad. Alex Sturgeon. I'm doing 10 days at the Worlds and then TCS finals following weekend. I'm going to hate RC cars for a while afterwards.
I'll guarantee you Alex will not hate RC cars.
No, you never.
I think he loves them more than anybody, to be honest.
Yeah. Alex, so he's going to be at the Worlds, right?
That's right.
So we can hang out if I'll go, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if Alex wants to do that, but whatever. I
believe Will's going too.
Will Britton.
Is Will going?
Is Will in the Worlds?
I think so.
Oh, damn. Team Rip, baby. We're in the Worlds?
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. You got a lot more drivers running the Worlds than you think.
Well, I know. I can't afford some of them.
Will? Really? Alex said no Will.
Will is not going? Did he qualify for the Worlds? That's what I need to know.
Actually, no, but he could definitely resume in like everybody else.
All right, Craig O'Brien, build an old school track and run the Ultima on it. Craig O'Brien, that's a new name to me on the chat, so I appreciate you joining us. And I actually had some messages during the week like, hey, I found your podcast, 12 years later, I found your podcast. But I appreciate it. And I think we're gaining more listeners. And not that I even care, but I don't look at the numbers. But I appreciate the messages. And like I said to you, Jason, it seems like the podcast grows if we take time off, which is really weird. But since we're doing them weekly now, we're trying to get them weekly. I mean, Jason travels a lot. There's a lot of times he won't be able to make it. And you guys don't want to listen to me, but we're trying to do it. We're trying to be more consistent. We're back to the way the Rip used to be. And I've been getting messages from people in our inbox saying that we appreciate it. So I thank you guys a lot. Seriously. I didn't really think that the show meant that much to people, so it's cool. And you said you had an email from somebody too saying that. So
Yeah, all the time.
um
Yeah, what Alex is saying here is he said that's why he's traveling with his sister. I thought the sister thing was a joke. I thought he said he got a mechanic's badge for his sister. I just thought that was a joke, but apparently he found himself a mechanic, a family.
why didn't you put me down as a mechanic?
Yeah, you're done, man.
Dude, Alex, you put me down as a mechanic. Boom. I'll help you out, bro.
TQ and win.
I don't know if you'll win or TQ, but you'll be in the hunt. That's for sure. All right. The usual suspects in the chat. Don't be afraid to comment. Alex Sturgeon, I just got the Tamiya BBX, and then the Kyosho comes out with the Joel Johnson edition Ultima. Yeah. I will never save money. Yeah, same here, man.
Well, you know what he should have said? I will never financially recover from this.
Tiger King. Good one, Jason. So what's the Tamiya BBX?
It's kind of like I was looking at it today actually. It's a buggy they released a few months back. It's cool looking. It's got a cool look, but it's not really in today's day, it's not a competition car so much as it could be an entry level, but it would be like a spec vehicle. Like if you know, a lot of tracks run like spec slash or something. You could run like spec BBX buggy class, and I think it would do pretty well. It's a very cool looking car.
Tamiya BBX. So I should Google that, look it up, see what it's about.
Yeah, it's a neat looking vehicle.
All right. But Kyosho, Joel Johnson. Listen, to my friends like Alex Sturgeon, Larry Tom, if I can't for some reason get the Joel Johnson edition from Tower Hobbies, you guys got to come through for me. Just put one aside, ask me, say, hey, did you get one? If I got one, fine. If I didn't, I'll buy it off you, dude. I mean, please, you cannot let me out of this edition.
Alex already ordered another one for you. He said he said he's got the price set at $900, and you can.
Oh man, come on! Don't be rude like that, dude. Come on.
Hey, he's got to be able to. There you go.
All right, so Alex is saying you ordered 3 at the Hobbyplex. All right. Well, I have faith in Tower Hobbies. Hopefully, they come through for me.
Tower Talk.
This is for, like I said in the last podcast. This is the first RC car I've ordered
since the last time you looked at Tower Hobbies in the magazine.
And the only reason why I went to Tower Hobbies is because a listener said, "Hey, dude, they're up for pre-order. Go, 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 go!" So I went right away, pre-order, boom, got my order number, everything. So hopefully they come through for me. Then I asked you on the podcast because I was like, is Tower Hobbies still a thing? Because I wasn't sure because they didn't have an image up there. It seemed like maybe it'd be a little sketchy. But Jason said, no, they're owned by Horizon now. So I was like, cool, I'm safe. As long as as long as people at Horizon like me, maybe somebody sees me, they don't, oh man, that's Gotti. Delete that order. But I think we're safe with that. So I'm hoping. I can't wait to get it. The only problem is building it. Jason Santos, there's a toss-up between you and Jason Rona. Jason, you offered to build that for me, or somebody at the J Concept?
No, I didn't offer to build it.
You didn't offer to build that for me?
I ain't building a piece.
If I send it to you, you won't build that for me?
I'm totally on Jason Santos' side. I'm like,
he's probably the expert, right? Because he's a vintage guy. So
I'm not going to build a piece of crap Kyosho for you.
Oh, come on. All right. Well, I'm putting all my trust in the Jason Santos hands. And if I get that kit, because I don't have any tools, unless you guys send me tools, if you send me everything I need, Jason, to build this thing, I will build it. I will take video of it or pictures or whatever you need for the podcast. Me building the thing, which would be kind of exciting because I haven't built a car since Double X4, I guess.
Like 97.
I guess, yeah, exactly. It would be, yeah. Or the Magic Carpet Ride, whatever year that was. That was 96, I think. Jason Santos said, I'll buy one when they're blown out for 125 because well, they're not going to be 125. It's the Joel Johnson edition, dude. They'll be sold out. They'll only make a few, and whatever. Don't be rude. Do you know Joel Johnson? Come on.
I heard they were only making 99 of them, and Tower was only getting 2.
Don't play with me, dude. Do not play with me. God. When Joel was at Trinity, I said, look, dude, I'll buy this Ultima off you. Where's it at? Let me buy it. At the time, I was saying $400. Probably, use A-Main next time, Alex Sturgeon's saying. Well, I mean, A-Main didn't have it up right away. I mean, Tower Hobbies had it up. Jason has a couple ordered from A-Main, right, Jason?
I always got something on order. I'm bad. I'm just like Alex. I buy so many RC cars.
Don't listen. I've been giving this podcast for 11 years. don't if I can't get one, please somebody help me, because you know what a Joel Johnson fan I am. So
yeah.
What's that?
I said, whew, yeah, we do.
All right, I'm sorry. Take a shot for every time you say Joel Johnson. And Jason Santos saying he would suffer through the build for me. So yeah, Santos, you're building it when I get it. I appreciate you. Seriously, I'm not joking around. That's awesome. I just don't have anything to build it, and Santos will come through for me. I'm not racing it though, Jason. So when it's built, I want it to. You're gonna even have to paint the body. I didn't realize I had to paint the body. Like, it's just all white, right, Jason? You were saying, and then the decals.
Yeah, I think you just put the decals on the outside.
Right, the stripes, the 2 stripes. You're gonna have to do that for me, Santos. I'll pay you. Obviously, I don't expect anybody to do anything for me for free.
Yeah, he usually does them for $400 or $500. He gets them all done.
Well, okay. Well, then I expect you to do it for free. Jesus, $400, $500. Scott Spears saying, Larry Tom, order me one, please. So he wants a Joel Johnson edition. See that?
Yeah, you're really going through here. I mean, you're selling them to everybody in here.
Yeah. Come on, dude. He's the GOAT. Let's face it. Kevin West is saying AE for life, dog. So there you go, Jason. There's an Associated fan.
Who said I'm an Associated fan?
Well, you're sponsored by them. No.
It's because I have 100 Associated cars.
Santos, this is the thing, Santos. He's saying he's going to put a Reedy motor in my Ultima edition. That's not going to happen. Jason sent me links of what I should put in the car. Yeah, I see. I want something Trinity. Well, I don't know what Joel actually ran as an engine in the Worlds. Was it obviously it was Trinity horsepower, but I don't know. I wish you can put an actual brush motor in there. Obviously, it's going to be the brushless.
You could put a brush motor in it.
Yeah, I guess I could. I see guys on eBay selling the Trinity horsepower sticker from back in '87.
That comes with the car.
Oh, it does?
A Trinity decal to put on the motor to look like Joel's motor comes with the car.
Oh, okay. Well, we're good then.
Yeah.
I don't care about the new stuff. I just want to make it. I don't know what I want to do, because I'd like to get it ready to run, but never run it. Does that make any sense?
It doesn't, but I understand. Hey, you know what? I do the same thing. Everybody does that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense, but I understand. I do the same thing.
I'm pumped up, And I messaged Joel. I said, hey, look. And he's willing to come on the show, talk about it, give me something a little extra special for it, like autograph something. I'm jacked, dude.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just going through the chat because I'm way behind.
I think you're doing okay.
Yeah, we're fine here. So this weekend, I guess we'll wrap it up here soon. We're an hour and a half in. I know it's getting late, but
yeah, I gotta go.
Yeah. So the Roar Off-Road Nationals this weekend. Like you said,
Right.
you got the three-headed monster there. Paul, Hannah,
and Tyler.
Is Tyler calling a race? Are you guys videoing it? And was you just letting up the live race?
Hannah videos the mains, and then we put them on YouTube. But she'll do the coverage the entire time, and
Okay.
we got another special guest that just jumped in here, Lee Setzer.
Oh, there's Lee.
He's racing this weekend. He's there.
This is and Lee Setzer, I think this is the first time he's actually jumped in the chat. And I have to say,
he always runs the decals.
I appreciate Lee. And I think I dropped into a race and he put it on his sponsor sheet, and I heard Ripcast. So, I mean, like I said, we can't offer these guys anything. I mean, I guess I could, but it's nothing compared to what their main sponsors offer them. But I appreciate, and I understand because it's Jason on the show and stuff like that. But Lee, I appreciate all the support that you've been giving us and giving us a shout out. So it really helps. So
he loves you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it, seriously. And we always root for him. So
we got one of the members of the three-headed monster on here now.
Oh, here's Hannah Hardison. She's checking in, watching from the Airbnb at the Nats. Okay, all right. Thank you, Hannah.
I was saying earlier that we have. Now we got two of them. Now we got Tyler, the other.
Oh man, what's going on here, Tyler? Are they both in the? Are they all in the Airbnb here?
Yeah, this is us. We got Hannah.
How are we doing over there, boys?
Tyler and Paul.
Oh, there's Paul Wynn too. Jeez, just when we're gonna log off here. Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it. So,
this is episode 251, Paul.
251. And like I said, we should be way up there, but we're cranking them out now. I got a whole new outlook and commitment. We're ready to rock. Another 10 years plus, if I live that long, to be honest with you.
I mean, ever since that Joel Johnson car came out, I mean, you just had a whole new...
I've just been jacked, dude, because this is what the Radio Impound podcast was about. Like, originally when me and Kirby started it, we're like, hey, look, we know all these guys. We'll interview them. We'll talk about them. And I don't think we didn't put much thought into what happens after we interview them. Like, what happens when we run out of guys. And that's where Jason jumped into the show. And man, like, seriously, we joke around with you, Jason, but like, I can't. Jason's been a huge addition to the show because I'm not out there. I'm not out to these races every week. And Jason's able to come on here and give like 2-3 hours of his time on a Thursday night when he has to be at work next morning.
These are billable hours to the Radio Impound podcast.
Billable? I
Billable
can't afford.
Hours.
I can't pay you back, dude. I can't pay you back other than just saying thanks. But man, and in the last podcast we were talking about it, 2013 you came on and you're doing this.
This is 10 years.
10 years later, dude. And I can't thank you enough, seriously. So we joke around a lot, we bust your balls and stuff like that, but yeah, it's been a huge addition to the show. Because otherwise, I would have ran out of stuff in 2012. And then I would have been like, what else is there to do? I'm not out there. So, Tyler
I mean,
Hooks.
I'm so excited. We got the crew from the Airbnb on here. We got
That's great, man.
Hannah, Tyler, Paul, Lee. Lee saying that um, his truck is really good. Oh, we just had it in the background. The race was just up there. He was sixth place. Oh no, he's coming up. We'll see how he does here. Lee will
he's
be
coming up right now. Okay.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes, Lee.
Yeah. So yeah, he's saying his truck is really good. Paul Wynn is saying a very young 50. Paul Wynn's 50?
I think Paul just turned 50.
Wow. I would not admit to that. Like I'm trying to reverse my age. Like on Facebook, I kind of like took the years back. I kind of, instead of the actual year I was born, I just went back further or forward further to make it look like I was younger. And I had people messaging me like, man, I thought you were 49. I'm like, I'm 46. It's kind of hard to fool the people you went to school with.
They're like, man, I thought we were the same age.
Yeah, it's really weird, but I just can't deal with it. Nick DeVito.
Oh, there's Lee just crashed in front of us.
Oh man, don't say that. Don't come.
Gord marshaled him.
Lee, he crashed in front of us. We're gonna have to review your application to RIP. Nick DeVito saying you joked that you should have more episodes by now, but did you ever think you would reach 251? No, I didn't. Like we started the podcast and I thought, we'll run through the people that we know. And that goes back to your question. There goes back to adding Jason to the show. And if it wasn't for Jason, seriously, I wouldn't even be around really. I mean, because I don't know what's going on out there. So I appreciate Jason. And we wouldn't be at 251 at all without him. So Tyler Hooks is saying Paul's pissed he wasn't invited to the Legends race last weekend. What you mean the Trinity Legend shootout?
The one, all we did was talk about Joel for like 2 hours, and he ran he ran one practice run.
Yeah, that's Joel.
And I go to check the results today, and he didn't even race. And then Josh Cyril never runs any of the practice and shows up and dominates.
Well, he wouldn't dominate if Joel was racing.
Well,
no offense.
They need to get together on this Legends race, I guess, and figure out when that they're all supposed to practice and then they're all supposed to race. We can't have this. They must be too big of stars.
That's right. When you're Joel Magic Johnson, you show up early and leave late.
There's Spencer.
No, you show up early. You show up late and leave early. Sorry.
I do think that they should have invited Paul over there. There's a lot of legends they could have invited.
Yeah, well, seriously, Paul Wynn would have been a great one. Mike Wood, that I used to work with. Kirby Han, obviously. Seriously, we joke around about it, but Kirby Han, he can race oval and on-road and off-road. Let's see here. We got Paul Wynn saying lots of love flow. Yeah, there's lots of love flowing here, but it's serious, dude. I don't give you guys enough credit.
Hold on, we're kind of watching Lee out here in this race. Let's see.
Lee Setzer saying, Jason, guess what? I've had 3 Apple Crown double shots. Uh-oh.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. And he's racing? Oh, this is not live, thank God.
Yeah. So he'll be going to bed early tonight, most likely.
Yeah. Is Lee going to
I just saw Lee jump off the jump. That's him, the little green monster out there.
Well, this isn't live though.
Well, no, they're all reliving it with us. There's Spencer off on the infield too. He's loving life.
John Bolton checking in here. Hobby Haven Raceway. Love that track. Dang. I'll be 59. Wow. John Bolton's going to be 59 in September. You admit that? I can't. I have a hard time admitting I'm going to be near 50 soon. I'll be 59 September. Last year in the 50s. Yeah. Well, what are you gonna do?
Lee, no, that's a green truck. Where's Lee?
We need to start a 60 plus class. Paul Jr. is saying this might be Paul Jr. from the Orange County Choppers, maybe. Paul Jr. is saying, been loving the car action episodes, and you'll be loving tomorrow night. Kirby Han will be joining us. We'll be doing a car action episode, and maybe if Jason Rona even has time, he will be joining us also.
We just got to put a limit on the Joel Johnson talk.
Right. Well, come on. He's having the Ultimate Edition. That's the only that's the only reason why we're going nuts over it. Ultimate Edition, Joel Johnson, JJ. Paul Wynn saying Joel is lucky. Sorry, Jason. Paul Wynn is saying Joe is lucky I wasn't there. Okay. Well, Joel didn't race. Joel showed up. No, he didn't race, Paul. I mean,
he was the ultimate celebrity. He came in, he took a picture by his poster, ran a practice run, and took off. That's
all he needs to do. He's the magic man. Hannah Hardison.
Private jet, maybe.
the Trinity private jet.
Yeah, Joel.
Man, I wish. Dude, Joel buying Trinity. Come on. When we get on the show, we're going to ask him about that.
He's like, I didn't even know it was for sale.
I did. Yeah, I know. Really. We didn't find out, but man.
Is Lee still on this run or what's going on?
I can't.
His best 3 laps, 66.4 so far.
So there's Tessman in here. Who's first there? Can't read that.
Champlin.
Oh, Brock Champlin.
There's Cavallari breaking his truck.
Breaking?
Yeah, you can see the marshals are pulling them off.
Okay. Hannah's saying Lee's truck looks good in this race.
And
okay.
It was just, but as Tyler pointed out, he's just infield chilling. Or no, that's him stuck it in the pipe right there.
Who?
Oh, there he is, just pulling wide for Ty Tessman.
All right.
He was scared.
Lee's trucks. Oh, of course, it's a Radio Impound podcast powered.
Look at this. He just made it by Spencer. Spencer's having a rough one here too. I'm gonna have to ship up an RC10T for Lee here. Something that has some rear traction for this race.
I don't know, Jason, because Paul Wynn's saying, isn't that Lee broke in the infield? I don't think so. That's not Lee.
Could be.
John Bolton saying, you're welcome. He had another thing. It's like the big time stars on Carson who leave after the appearance. Joel meets that status exactly. That's exactly it. Joel doesn't need to race these shootouts or anything.
Doesn't need to run the complete race.
No, just show up, run maybe a heat, bail out. That's the magic. Jason Santos saying he built a car for Paul Sr. a while back. So I wonder if that's the Paul, from Orange County Choppers.
That's what I'm assuming.
Paul Tuttle Sr. I wonder if that's the one that was featured in Car Action. If that's correct, Jason, hit me up here.
Because Lee on the screen right now.
Oh, there he is.
Picking up his stadium truck.
Okay.
There's Hannah.
Where? Oh yeah, I see her. Yep.
Getting the truck.
Good. It's cool to see these when I watch some of these races on YouTube. I'm like, oh, I recognize. I'm like Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh, I recognize that name right there. Yeah.
We got Dave Bowman with a question. He's asking, are all the fast guys running buggy shocks on their stadium truck? We need one. We need one of our members from the J Concepts Airbnb to answer that.
Wow. Well, so what's this about? All the fast guys running buggy shocks on the stadium trucks.
Yeah, that's one of the hot things a lot of people do.
Lower center of gravity.
There you go.
Okay. Look at that. 20 some years removed, and I still guessed it.
When you got it,
Lee Setzer saying, yes, we are. So there you go, Jason.
Yep.
Paul Wynn, of course. Okay, of course. Like it's suspected. Like we're running buggy shocks on monster trucks. Of course.
Monster trucks, man.
Wow.
That's where it's at.
Well, that's wild. Just when you think, so you imagine if you're a regular Joe, you show up to this race with your monster truck and you're like, yeah, I think I like this. I got,
Stadium truck, not monster truck.
well, stadium truck, I'm sorry. Which reminds me, I was watching on YouTube you remember you asked me, hey, was that from the Worlds? What? But it was titled, remember that van I showed you with the,
Yeah.
so it was titled 1993 Monster Truck World Championships. Does that make any sense to you?
No. It was
No.
probably, I think that was the 93 Worlds.
Okay. So for some reason, whoever uploaded it. So what was I talking about the monster trucks now? Oh, the monster truck shocks. So imagine showing up and you're like, yeah, I got this all set up. And all of a sudden you look at the pros and they're running buggy shocks on monster trucks. And you're like, oh my God, what is going on here? It's crazy. Because I imagine there's some, casual race, not casual, but non-sponsored drivers, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And they show up and you find out that the pros are running buggy shocks on monster trucks.
Stadium trucks.
Stadium trucks, whatever you want to call
them.
Um,
honestly, if you're coming to this race, I think you have to enjoy the experience. I think the buggies on this surface probably work better. You concentrate on your buggies. They're a little easier to get working, and you get those going. In truck, you have some fun. You try to get a little closer on setup, and maybe by the time qualifying or that second day where you get to your two last rounds, the track will be a little better, and that's where the trucks will run better.
So are you running monster truck shocks, stadium truck shocks on buggies?
No.
Isn't that weird? Like when you think about it, you're like,
it doesn't necessarily blow my mind, but I know what you're saying.
Tyler Hooks is saying, Jason, the belly is out, full belly out guy.
Lee likes to scare us with his belly.
Okay.
He will.
Yeah, I remember that race you were showing me.
Yeah,
where the car was coming around. Lee lifted up his shirt.
Yeah, I'm out there. I'm racing, and Lee's showing me the belly, and I had to keep concentration. It's tough.
Right. Okay.
I was having trouble up on that corner anyway. Without the belly.
So you really see that, and it distracts you.
Yeah, I mean, when somebody lifts their shirt up in the back corner,
right?
It's hard not to look.
That goes back to me thinking, when we used to have interviews on here, I'd say, hey, do you ever, when you're driving, my main problem was like in Mayfield and Dakota and Spencer and all these guys, when they're driving, they're focused. I mean, it's just, I'm focused. But when I'm driving, I'm thinking about halfway in the race, I'm thinking about other things. Like when I was up at the Vintage Nationals, before I broke my aluminum turnbuckle, I was thinking about other stuff other than the race. Like, it's just weird. Like, that's what I think separates these guys from the other guys. Like, you're able to stay focused, what you're doing. Like, when you watch Mayfield, Dakota, and Spencer race, like when I watch them at Nationals or whatever, Mugen Challenge, these guys are focused. And I don't think anything runs through their mind other than the race. And I know there's drivers out there, and you can admit it in the chat if you want to, that your mind just goes off and you're thinking about, did I leave the stove on at home? Do I have enough gas? I don't know, just weird things. And that's why I was never able to put it all together. Now, Kirby Hand, for example, probably was just focused on a race. Like, it's just amazing to me that these guys the Mugen Challenge, Mayfield will show up, look at the track, go out there, dominate. Who else is going there? Dakota and them?
No, but there is some very good drivers that are going to
Very
go.
good drivers. These pros just focus on everything. And for some
Look at Lee.
reason,
Spencer or whoever, somebody just almost ran into him.
Lee Setzer, another
While
one.
he's term marshaling.
I mean, these guys are just, I don't know how to explain it. But you got to admit to me, the non-pros, your mind wanders while you're racing. And that was the main, I joke around while I leave the iron on, but like my mind wanders and I just screw up somewhere.
Honestly, I kind of feel like there is a ritual when to me, when I was racing my best, there's a ritual that you go through every single time.
But
Kind of like the NBA players doing a free throw. Like there's a ritual that you go through to kind of lock in.
right.
You get locked in before the race. You find your place to stand. You find the position you want to be in on the driver's stand, and you get locked in. And you just that's how you do it. And I think it's natural for people to wander a little bit while you're driving.
But you think that's what separates the pros
No.
from the normal Joes?
No, I think everybody's mind can wander a little bit, but I think ultimately, it's really about how in tune you are, and what do you have a knack for driving these cars? And some people just have the knack for it, and other people don't. That's really and people that are very good at it. They can be thinking about other things and doing it. The most difficult thing I found for everybody is talking. If you're like trying to be videoed and you want to talk on the video while you're driving, that's hard. But I think your mind can wander around, but you can't sit there and talk to somebody. Like when we do these videos with Hannah, and we've done some with Spencer and Dakota, where we ask them to talk and give feedback while they're driving, you can tell it's hard for them to do that. And it's but if you stand next to them and you try to talk to them a little bit, you can do that.
Right.
But if you're being videoed and you're mic'd up and you're trying to give feedback, the problem is while you're thinking about it, you're already past that section and you're onto a different section, right? Like just the lap time, the lap time is only, 16, 17 seconds, whatever they are. And it's hard to actually comment live while you're driving because you're past when you start talking about something, you're 3-4 turns past where you started to begin with. So it's really kind of weird. It would be easier to talk over. I think it would be easier to talk over a video that was already done.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think all these guys, I know I've thought of different things while I'm driving, but I think it's about being locked in prior to the race. It's about being locked in and doing a similar ritual each time, and then feeling confident about it. Something that these guys don't probably have at the moment in the stadium truck.
Yeah. Spencer Rifkin joined the chat. What's up, Spencer?
We got all the fast people in here.
That's right, man. Spencer. Oh, he's talking to Lee here. My truck was no better, so don't feel bad, Lee. Okay. All right.
You wait for those last 2 rounds of qualifying in stadium truck. That's what we're hoping for. If the track's getting better a little bit, hopefully by then we can do it.
All right. Spencer, he's gonna be at the Mugen Challenge.
He's not.
Oh man. All right. Well, I'm gonna be there. How weird is that? I'm gonna be there. Spencer's not. Maybe I should race. Never mind.
Don't even
I
go
actually
there.
could race this if I show up on Friday, right? Because Friday is seating.
That's right.
Man, if you had a car for me, how awesome would that be just to see where I finished?
You could do it.
I guarantee I wouldn't finish last. 20 some years removed, I would not finish last.
I think you would finish last.
Seriously?
Yeah.
If you brought a car to me to the Mugen Challenge and just even,
Yeah.
had
It's
everything
hard,
else set
man.
up, I would finish last.
Those tracks are hard.
Jason,
Man.
I guarantee that I would not finish last. I would put this podcast online. If I finished last, I would not do a podcast ever again, even though that would probably bring a lot of joy to people, but I would not do one again.
Fly Sky. That's Spencer's.
This is the radio, right?
This is the radio I was telling you about.
Right. I looked it up because I'm trying to find a radio for my Joel Johnson edition Ultima. Take another shot, people. And Jason blew this, like, he just, because I'm like, man, this Futaba 10PX seems like what everybody's talking about. And Jason's like, hey, look up the Fly Sky while you're at it. And I'm like, damn, what is this all about? I'm like, Fly Sky? I never heard of this company. I mean, I don't even know who, but the radio looks cool. So, whatever. I mean, if it works, it works. But it'd be kind of cool to have something different than everybody else has, because everybody has what? Futaba Electronics Spectrum?
What did I tell you? What did I tell you
Scale?
about Futaba?
That they're awesome.
Yeah, I said that I think it's visually the coolest looking radio. I think
Right.
it feels good.
Mhm.
And I think it's the newest one out. The M17's been out a while. The Futaba's been out less time, but
The
yeah,
10PX.
the all the rage right now is the Fly Sky.
So here's the thing with me, and Jason knows this. I'm always worried about buying something and then it's outdated in like a next month or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. So when I'm looking up the 10PX, I'm like, man, there's videos. Like I was watching Adam Drake explaining the Futaba 10PX. And I'm like, the video's a year old. So is there and I understand the 10PX means 10 models. But is there 11PX coming out? Like, is there something, like, I don't want to buy this and then Futaba's like, hey, look at this. We got this brand new thing. It's super fast.
The crazy part is I was trying to tell you, I'm like, dude, any radio you get will be 100 times better than any radio you had in the 90s already. This stuff is so good.
Right. What did I use at the Vintage Nationals for the RC10 that you had me run?
I probably had that was probably a M12 at the time.
All right. John Bolton's saying I should race my Joel Johnson car. No, I mean, I guess I could race that at Pit Stop Hobbies, but really, do you want to race that? Because here's a dilemma. Do I have it built by Jason Santos, or do I keep it in the box? Which I really don't want to do, because I want to build it and then have it, show it on the show, and just look at it sitting here on the desk. And it's pretty cool, man, because my birthday's coming up.
Hannah just mentioned the Traxxas TQI radio. I bet you that's better than the last radio you had in the 90s.
All right, but I want Jason, you know how I am. I want the top of the line, even though I'm not going to use it.
I know. You didn't get that Futaba, man.
All right, 10PX, right?
$700 radio.
I mean, on eBay, it's cheaper than that. So here's the thing I was going to ask you is on eBay, I found one for like $580 or something. So what steering servo am I installing in my Ultima? Huh?
It depends. Do you want to go with a, do you want to get with the same Futaba servo?
So the $800 one comes with a servo, right?
I don't think so. No, what I'm saying is, if you want a servo, do you want a Futaba servo? Because you have to buy that separate too.
Okay, so it does just come with the transmitter and the receiver.
Yeah.
Okay, so I found it on eBay for $580, which isn't bad. I mean, that's nothing. So, all right, be worth more to the car, but I just want to have it decked out.
Oh, it's
never gonna run it.
Hannah's got another recommendation: the Spectrum DX5 Rugged.
If you're Spectrum DX5 Rugged, if you're feeling fancy. So what's? I mean, I don't know. I'm hearing mixed things about Spectrum, so I don't know. Who's Spectrum owned by?
Horizon.
Horizon? Oh, that's Horizon. Oh, jeez. All right. So I'm hearing mixed things, not from Jason or anybody, but I'm hearing mixed things in the chat. You know, I watch YouTube videos. I look in the comments, and then people, you know, so I'm easily persuaded. That's why I can never be on a jury. So, but I'm watching a lot of these Futaba 10px commercials or YouTube videos. So, I just want to deck it out and have it here and just be like, hey guys, look, and then just set it here, never touches dirt. Just want to be able to know that it runs.
Hold it up nice and high, honey. Show everybody what you got.
Yeah, we'll show everybody what you got for Christmas, Jason.
Hold it up nice and high.
Yeah. God, that's how I am. It's a disease, man. Like I just this is weird for me though. Like I said, it's the first car I purchased in 20 some years, and I just want to have it ready to run and never run it. John Bolton saying even the Horizon radio is better than anything Gotti has owned.
I'm telling you, all these radios now are so nice. You know, Lee mentioned up here earlier that my favorite radio is the MT44, and I do. I told you that. I love that radio.
That's the one used for your monster trucks, right?
Yeah, it's amazing.
What's so amazing about it compared to the 10px?
Well, no, it's not the highest end radio, but it feels nice. The size, it's smaller, it's lighter weight. It has all the functions we use, you know, for what we're doing. And I have it on all my monster trucks. And
does it feel better than the 10px? Is that what you're saying?
It's lighter. It's lighter. Actually, it's a smaller, lighter radio.
Got ya. All right. And here's the other thing, like I'll never be able to adjust anything on it because I won't understand any of it. Oh, man, this seems pointless to me, but I gotta have the best stuff. Because I text Jason, I said, what's the best radio available? And he's throwing all these other things at me. And that was one of them. The MP or the 14, you said?
MT44 or the MT5 would be perfect for what you're doing.
All right.
Which is
nothing. Oh my God. Thank God. Somebody asked me a question here. Where was it at? Yeah. Lee Sesser says, did you join the social club for racecraft? What's that mean?
We invented the social club.
For racecraft?
No.
What the hell does that mean?
He's just referring to, there's a company called Racecraft that they are, I think they're calling when they're sponsoring people the social club. I don't know. I'm not like down with all the lingo, but it's something to that effect.
All right. Well, we'll skip that.
We'll skip
that. All right. So we'll get going here. It's getting late, but I appreciate everybody joining us. This was 251, and we plan on coming back tomorrow night as long as everything goes well. We're going to do a car action episode. We're going to look for the Joel Johnson take a shot when he won. Hey, it's the year of magic. Joel Johnson. Come on, Jason. You got to get pumped up. I can't wait till he's on the show. Then everybody will be taking shots. You got to play along. Take shots every time we mention his name. So we plan on coming back tomorrow night. Look at an episode or issue of RC Car Action. We're going to try and find the Kirby wants me to find the Jesus.
Who?
When Joel won the Worlds with the Evolution 10.
And we'll have to have Paul on because he was at that race. So.
Well, Paul's at the Roar National, so he'll be able to come on like 7, 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah, they'll be done to be the same time.
All right. Well, Paul Wynn, if you're listening, pencil it into your schedule, and we'll put you on the show with us. And
Paul can tell us all about the cheater batteries they were using.
oh, who was using cheater batteries?
No, Joel.
Oh, please. This is where, whatever. This is a bunch Yeah, tell us, Paul. I'd love to hear it. Here's a new name to the Facebook. Edwin and Buffy McTurris is he's saying, he's saying the CS2P is the way to go. What's
Honestly, that's the best feeling radio of all time, the CS. We just called it the CS, but yeah.
Who's that made by?
That was a Airtronics or Sanwa radio, CS2P.
So seriously, Jason, who is the tops? Like, if you had to rank them, is it Airtronics Futaba or is it Futaba Airtronics?
Well, there's no Airtronics anymore. It's Sanwa.
Sanwa, whatever. Why they change their name to Sanwa?
Well, they didn't. Well, they didn't. Sanwa has always been the name.
It's always. I understand that, but why? Where did Airtronics go?
The Airtronics was the name of the distributor for the Sanwa radio.
Man, Airtronics just sounds so much better.
I did like it. Airtronics was cool.
Yeah. God, what is going on here? So where's KO in this mix?
I honestly, when I was Googling those photos, I put that picture up of the Fly Sky just to rub Spencer about his Futaba radio, and but I bumped into the KO looks badass. Like, honestly, if I send you a picture of the KO, it looks like one of the more badass radios.
So what KO is this now?
I don't even know the number of it, but it's really cool.
All right. I just remember from back in the day when I was using KO, people said that the Airtronics was faster, Sanwa, and KO was slower because I had the KO Mars. But
I mean, the KO Mars was just as good as any of those other radios.
Yeah, so it wasn't the radio then. They're full whatever. Yeah. So we're looking at
Actually, I think we have, Edwin just checked in here. Edwin Maturius.
Oh, there's Edwin.
I want to say he might have been at that 92 Worlds too, so he can tell you about Joel's cheater batteries too.
It's no cheater batteries. Edwin Buffy here? You mean he was at the 92 Worlds?
I believe so.
What?
Yeah.
He looks young in this picture here. I think you're mistaken.
He is. He's only 20.
Well, how was he? Wait a minute. 92 Worlds?
Yeah, he was there.
Wait a minute. How old would he be? You're messing with me. All right.
Edwin's a little older than me. He's probably right around Paul's age.
Oh, okay. All right. That makes sense.
But he was there. He'll tell you all about the cheater packs too.
Oh, he will, right? Okay. Cheater Trinity packs?
That's right.
I mean, there was tech inspection, right? They passed.
Well, we'll get into that on the episode.
What episode? What episode?
Those batteries were really, really heavy.
Whatever. That's BS. You can't take away magic.
Paul said Paul got one of those batteries for his main at that race, and he went up there and his car just like clunk on the weight. He said, he was like borderline on the weight the whole weekend. He put those batteries in for the main, and the scale just bottomed out.
That's BS. Calling BS on that. Just haters. Haters will hate.
All right.
We were playing by the rules. I mean,
okay.
I remember that 2003 meeting.
I bet.
What's the point? What's the point of all this?
Look at Edwin. Look at his next comment.
What's his next comment? Hashtag truth, Jason. Yeah, whatever.
Hey, you know what? Masami cheated too, so
There you go. Jason said it. All right, this was 251 Radio Impound Podcast. I appreciate everybody joining us. There's some new names in here. I appreciate that. Share it with your friends. Try and get the YouTube channel Radio Impound Podcast. Go in there, like it, subscribe. Yeah, appreciate everybody joining us. So, Jason, thank you for your time.
get that car action posted up tomorrow. Show people what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm gonna go search for which one Kirby wants me to put up there. Kirby plans on being on show, and maybe even Jason Rona would be showing up. How about that? And if he shows
we'll
up,
be able to talk about the first 2 rounds of qualifying at the Roar Nationals. That'll be tomorrow.
that'd be good. Yeah. And
so we mentioned it, the top seeds today were Dakota in 4-wheel, Dakota in stadium truck, Brock in 2-wheel buggy.
Wow.
I think Talon Henley in 17.5 buggy, Doug LaRiviere in 13.5, and 13.5 stadium truck was Brennan Edwards. And was there any more classes? The Masters 40 plus. I know Paul was second. I can't remember the guy that TQ or top seeded at the off the top of my head, but he's from the Hoosier Hobby Plex in I'm just watching the video here in the background, but he's from the track in Indiana, where the Henleys are from. So that's what I can remember off the top of my head on the top seeds, but we'll see how they can convert.
Yeah.
I noticed the results are kind of up and down, but I think from what they're saying, the track is improving, getting more consistent, and everyone's feeling a little more comfortable. They all started off, I think, not doing so hot, and everyone's kind of coming together a little bit. So hopefully all the work pays off.
Someone just messaged me actually and said, "Hey, are you at the track?" No, that's just my green screen.
It looks like you're on the driver's stand. Looks like you're on the driver's stand, like you're the race officer.
Yeah, right. Like, can you imagine if I was actually like I would be at this race? Come on, like I'm trying to get to a race that's 50 some miles from me. Can you imagine wherever this is at, Georgia? So no, I'm not at the track. It's cool. Seriously, appreciate everybody joining us. And maybe like I said, we're gonna return tomorrow night. We'll do a podcast. And I'm not going to promise anything, but sometimes me and Jason hop on a Sunday afternoon during the mains. We do kind of like a watch along. So if you want to go back, I didn't post an audio version of that because it's kind of obviously listening to that audio. We did a Wicked Weekend, right? We caught the Truggy A main.
Yeah, that's right.
So you can go on YouTube and, you know, if you care to listen to that, Jason gives his insight on what's going on. So that's pretty cool. So we may or may not do that on a Sunday, but we would let you know. Here's a new name to me too, Jason. Chris Lemon checking in. This is where is the Magic Man? Where is the Magic Man qualified? That is all that matters. That's exactly right, Chris. I mean, this is the guy. This is my man right here, Chris.
I know Chris as well, and obviously, yeah. I mean, it's just I'm so
over.
I can't believe we spent like 2 hours. We spent like 2 hours talking about Joel last weekend, and he didn't even run the race. I can't even believe that. I thought. Yeah. I was just thinking, yeah, he started off good. He won that first one we were looking at, and
he won, right?
Yeah, he did. He TQ'd or whatever it was that first run,
and he failed.
And then he just failed. I was just like, I'm out of here, guys.
I love it. That's magic. Disappearing act.
It's real magic, man.
That is awesome. Chris saying he had to leave for some reason. Okay, well, it's magic.
Because he already TQ'd.
He already TQ'd. Well, we hope everything's well with magic. So, yeah.
Yeah, you know, I mean, obviously we joke around. You don't know the real story.
Right.
I've left a ton of races myself, and there's always a reason. Sometimes, um, yeah, I left a race once to watch a Game 7 in the NBA.
What?
Yeah, I actually
Wow.
I TQ'd a Florida State Series race here, and then I left before the main so I could go watch a Game 7. But hey, whatever.
Chicago, obviously.
No, it wasn't. This was after that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. So we don't know the whole story.
Oh no.
We don't know the whole story there, so we hope everything's well with Joel. Paul Wynn saying, well, we will skip that question or answer. Chris Lemon saying is the Cavs Warriors. Was that the Game 7, Jason?
No, it was the Toronto Raptors and the Philadelphia 76ers Game 7. This had to be about 01 or 02 maybe.
Oh wow, jeez.
It went to the last play. Vince Carter missed the last shot.
Okay. All right. Well, left the race for that. Wow, that's crazy.
Now, when I think back, I should have just stayed and tried to win the race because. but hey, you know what? It seemed like the right thing to do at the time.
Yeah, it was. Don't worry about it, Jason.
Okay.
All right. 251. Thank you. 1973. What's this mean? 1973 for sure by Tyler Hooks.
He's saying that's when the race was.
All right. I appreciate everybody joining.
I was watching you today, Tyler. You got better, man.
Yeah. So we're going to check out this race tomorrow, Saturday, right? On liverc.com.
That's right.
All right. On YouTube. Yeah. LiveRC. Check them out. Obviously, you don't need me to tell you that. I guess I'll check it out and see what happens. Best of luck to all the guys there, all the J Concepts drivers, and especially guys representing Radio Impound Podcast like Lee Sesser.
Yep. Lee's got to do it up tomorrow. Do it for the belly.
Is Paul Wynn racing? Because he represents RIP all the time for us.
Yeah, Paul's racing. He's
let's go.
The problem with Paul, if he wins, he's going to have to retire another car, and then he'll have 2 cars retired, and then he's going to have to build 2 new cars. So
that's no problem for him.
I just gave away my B6.3 today.
Dude, what?
Yeah. Sonny Santucci told me he's going to come to Beachline this year for Carpet Champs, and I'm going to give him another car. So I sent him one of my old cars.
Wow. Okay. Santucci, congratulations. Jeez, I've been trying to get a car off of Jason for I don't know how long.
The key is you got to race it.
Oh, you have to race it.
We know Sonny's gonna kick some butt. He's gonna work hard and race it. So I'll give him everything.
Hey, there's a monster truck race up here at in Bloomsburg. It's not. I don't know who it's run by, but yeah, hook me up and I'll go and dominate and win. J Concepts, baby. Here we go.
Hey, you can run it, Paul. Just get that thing dialed in for. I got to run that at Hoosier or something next time. So
hey, I actually stopped into I was in in the store and somebody said, hey, they saw my J Concepts license plate frame.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and they're like, hey, what world champ? What's that about? And I explained to them. They're like, oh yeah, RC cars, yeah. So they said they would check it out. So there you go, Jason. How about that? That's a little advertising. My J Concept frame there on my car.
I think Paul's talking about my car. He almost ran it here, but
shocks were blown out, so I passed.
Were blown out, but I think the last time I had those shocks redone, I think Lee might have did those shocks when we were at Adrenaline a couple months back. I don't know.
Well, Tyler Rooks is saying that Lee took 4 hours building.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he just didn't take enough time on them or something. I don't know exactly what.
Why would it take you 4 hours to build shocks? I guarantee I can make them way under that.
I don't know. It's a good question.
All All right. Well, Lee, check in on that sometime and let us know why it takes 4 hours to build.
And feel free, if you
Well, I
guys
mean, I guess it's an hour of shock. I mean, is it that bad?
if you guys have some extra time, go ahead, work on the shocks. That's fine.
Because you probably got to replace this and that, the little rings and
Yeah, you change the brush and spring combination.
like Paul Wynn's saying here, the eclipse pop off, then
Maybe
they fly over here.
Maybe the E-clip popped off. That could be.
Yeah. That's where I always think the pros had the advantage on the shocks. Like they know more about, especially when Losi came out with. Well, it wasn't Losi, was it? With the was it Paragon with the two stage shocks?
Those are the jump jets.
Yeah, whatever. I always felt the pros knew more. Jump jets. I always felt the pros knew more about the shocks than I did because I was just changing shock oil, but other guys were drilling pistons, doing different things, and I'm like, how do you guys know? Like when you go to track. I just always felt the pros obviously knew more than me. But like, how do you know how to drill the shock pistons? Like,
here's the number one thing that the pros know better than anybody else. They know how to drive.
So it's just driving, you think?
That's
like,
that's the number one thing.
Throttle control, throttle.
Driving.
Just driving.
That's number one. And then everything else is number 2, 3, 4, 5. But that's the thing they're the best at is driving.
So it's just like looking at so when Mayfield, Dakota, Spencer show up at the track, they look at the track, they're like, oh, I need a throttle like this through this section. Where me, I'm looking at a track and I'm like, I have no idea what the hell to do.
They don't do that.
So when they're walking the track, aren't they taking in all that info? Like, I'm going to triple this or double this or whatever.
No.
Well, what are they doing?
The second you see the track, you don't have to walk it. I mean, I know when I just go on the driver's stand, I can look at the track and tell you what's kind of going to happen. And usually their very first lap, they're pretty much attacking every section exactly
in practice.
Do it. Oh yeah, the very first run. If there's a triple, they're tripling it. If it's a double, they're doubling it.
So you're telling me when they practice, that's when they're learning the track.
It's almost like
they're not just looking at it and envision what they need to do.
You're almost so in touch with the car that you're already doing all that the very first time out.
Okay.
We'll talk about that a whole nother show.
It is a whole other couple hours, but
yeah, it's a whole thing.
When I went to a race, I always felt like the pros already have. Well, obviously they're pros. I mean, but it just felt like they always had the upper hand no matter what. All right. So before we head off here, this is a Facebook question here from Eric. Can't even pronounce your last name, Eric. Can you, Jason?
You know what? It feels like I think we've had a question from him before.
Oh, okay. So he's saying if you travel to a race that's a different altitude than your home or fly into a race, should you rebuild your shocks?
Yeah, everybody says yes. You definitely want to do that.
But how do you? Okay, so it goes right back to my point where when you show up to a track, like let's say you go to Larry Tom's track, how do I know how to rebuild my shocks? Like, okay, obviously everybody local that's racing here is using, let's say, 30 weight. I mean, I feel that's where I'm missing everything. Shock. It's always shock.
We'll talk about that in the next show.
All right. Sorry, Eric. Jason doesn't want to talk about
No, but Eric, what he's saying is what he's asking is should he redo his shocks because of the altitude changes? Because
of the air, the thinness and stuff.
Well, yeah, because of the different altitude. And for sure, all the guys, they'll sometimes show up with no shocks on the car because they'll right away when they get in the building like this, they'll redo the shocks right away. They don't change them. What they do is they put different oil, they put new oil in it because of the the flight chain.
Got ya. Okay, so they're using the same weight, for example,
Yeah.
but they're building it there to track, and the air, the thinness of the air and whatever is taking over.
Yeah.
Got ya.
And they are doing that. I mean, the travel races that I've done recently, I mean, I've gone there with my shock straight off the plane, and I've ran and thought it was fine, but you know, but if you're going to do it to that extent, then those guys would tell you that they would definitely do the shocks right when they get to a new location.
Right at the track. Okay. All right, that makes sense. Yeah.
All right.
I hope that helps you out there. And then Paul Winston just asked Spencer. So yeah, that's the beauty of this thing here. We'll wrap it up, but you can always ask these pros on Facebook. You know, and they'll probably get back to you. Jackson Brunson, we're live. We're live and we're starting here. This is 251 the Radio Impound Podcast. Welcome to the new episode here. We're starting over now because Jackson Brunson joins us. Eric says, "Thanks, Jason. It helps."
No,
there you go. All right, that's what it's about, man. Seriously, man, just getting in the mind of these pros. I look forward to attending the Mugen Challenge and just taking in, watching these guys. I just like watching like Mayfield and them wrench. You know what I mean? And not that it helps me, but Jackson Brunson saying it's 4 a.m. over here in Ireland. Oh, there you go. You're complaining that it's 10:51, but it's 4 a.m. over in Ireland. Jason, what's Jackson doing over in Ireland? Is he?
He's working, man.
Oh, okay.
He's got a good job, and he's
killing it.
He's doing well. He's out of the country for work.
All right, Jackson. Well, make sure you represent J Concepts and Radio Impound Podcast over there. Spread the word. All right, Jason. Thanks for joining us. This is 251. We'll see you tomorrow night, maybe, Jason. I don't know.
Yep.
And we'll review we like doing those radio control car actions, and I go on Boost. Head on over to Boost, Radio Control Car Action Boost, and like I said, it's $50 a year, or you can do even, you can cancel anytime. You can do $6 a month or whatever, and they have some cool stuff in there. But we'll be back tomorrow night. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Bye.
And head over to jconcepts.net.